There's a humble plant, creeping silently along the cracks in your driveway, with red stems that catch the sunlight. Right now, it holds more omega-3 fatty acids per leaf than salmon, yes. Not per pound, but in every tiny green petal it produces. This plant has nourished humans for 4,000 years, survived the rise and fall of empires, and in 2022, scientists at Yale discovered it performs something no other plant on Earth can, a feat they called a biological impossibility. And yet, the herbicide industry spends billions to make sure most people never learn its name. Archaeology gives us the first hints of its importance. In 1050 BC, someone in northern Greece stored seeds in a clay vessel. Millennia later, archaeologists opened it and discovered thousands of tiny black seeds, each barely a millimeter across, the same plant that still grows between the stones outside. By the 7th century BC, these seeds were considered sacred, appearing in one of ancient Greece's most important sanctuaries, the Semion. By the 4th century BC, Theophrastus was writing detailed cultivation instructions, advising farmers to plant it alongside their essential crops in April. This wasn't a weed, it was food. The Roman Empire cultivated it across 3 continents. Medieval Europeans ate it daily. In 1288, Bonvesan de Riva cataloged Milan's food staples. And this plant wasn't a curiosity. It was central to survival. This plant is Purslane portulaca oleracea, a humble, creeping, red-stemmed herb that has quietly solved nutritional problems scientists didn't even know existed. And yet humanity was taught to destroy it. After 1492, European settlers carried it across oceans. But when documented in Massachusetts in 1672, archaeologists later found it had already been in North America for over 2,500 years. Seeds in Ontario date to 1350 AD. Seeds in Kentucky date back to 800 BC. Native Americans cultivated it alongside sunflowers, squash, and chenopod's in the Eastern Agricultural Complex. Across 2 continents separated by oceans, humans independently recognized this plant's value. Its real secret, though, is not just survival, it's health. In 1960, physiologist Ansel Keys launched the 7 countries study, tracking over 12,000 men across 7 countries for 50 years, seeking to understand why some populations experienced almost no heart disease, while others were devastated by it. The results shattered conventional wisdom. The Cree farmers consumed over 35% of calories from fat, far higher than what nutritionists of the time considered safe. Yet they had the lowest cardiovascular mortality rate ever recorded. Lower than Japan, lower than Finland, lower than anywhere else. For decades, scientists credited olive oil, Mediterranean diets, and monounsaturated fats. But in the 1980s, researchers revisited frozen blood samples from the study. They weren't looking for cholesterol, they were searching for omega-3 fatty acids. The Cree had 3 times more omega-3s than the Dutch, but they weren't eating 3 times more fish. They were eating purslane daily, in salads, stews, sautéed with olive oil, even fed to their livestock. Their food system revolved around a wild plant growing in every field. In 1992, Dr. Artemis Simopoulos analyzed purslane and discovered numbers that seemed impossible. Each 100 grams of fresh leaves contains 300 to 400 mg of alpha-linolenic acid, 5 or 7 times more than spinach, 15 times more than iceberg lettuce, the richest plant source of omega-3s ever measured. And it gets stranger. Most land plants cannot produce EPA, the omega-3 compound normally found in fish. Purslane produces it in traces, but enough to stun the scientific community. That's not all. It also packs 7 times more vitamin E than spinach, 6 times more beta-carotene than carrots, plus melatonin, glutathione, potassium, magnesium, and calcium in remarkable concentrations. It's truly one of the most nutrient-dense plants ever analyzed. The Lyon Diet Heart Study tested a diet rich in purslane, walnuts, and omega-3s on 605 heart attack patients. Half followed a standard low-fat cardiac diet. The other half followed the Mediterranean diet centered on purslane. After 5 years, deaths in the Mediterranean group dropped by 70%. Not just heart attacks, but all-cause mortality. The study was stopped early because keeping the control group on the standard diet became unethical. So why isn't purslane a household name? Why do most people see it as a weed? Because it's impossible to control. In 2022, Dr. Erica Edwards and her team at Yale uncovered a photosynthetic miracle in Purslane. Most plants use C3 photosynthesis, working well in water-abundant environments. Corn and sugarcane use C4, suited for heat but still needing water. Desert plants use CAM, opening pores at night to conserve water, growing slowly. Purslane does all three, but simultaneously. Daytime C4 activity drives rapid growth. Nighttime CAM activity preserves water, and the CAM outputs feed directly into C4 pathways. This combination is unique, like discovering a car engine, running on gasoline and electricity at the same time in the same cylinder. It is a super plant, able to thrive in drought, heat, and salt, producing hundreds of thousands of seeds per plant, with stems rooting wherever they touch the soil. It cannot be killed by heat, drought, or conventional eradication, and the herbicide industry knows it. Bayer, Syngenta, and Corteva sell products designed to destroy Purslane. Homeowners associations ban it. Agricultural guides tell you to eradicate it. Why? Not because it's harmful, but because it cannot be controlled. You cannot patent it. You cannot create a hybrid that forces farmers to repurchase seeds. Purslane reproduces freely, as it has for 4,000 years. Compare that to the modern omega-3 market. Wild fish populations collapsing, farmed salmon requiring massive infrastructure, flaxseed oil going rancid, and supplements costing $20 a bottle. Purslane grows for free anywhere humans can live, yielding more omega-3s per acre than any cultivated crop. Across the world, people remembered. In India, it's called kulfa. In Greece, glista. In Mexico, verdes, sautéed with garlic and chili. In China, continuously cultivated as machizan. In the Middle East, it appears in salads, stews, and spreads. Half the world forgot and the other half poisoned it. With climate change, droughts, and failing crops looming, Purslane may be our solution. Corn and wheat demand 20-30 inches of rainfall. Purslane thrives on 6 inches. Soybeans shut down above 95 to go. Purslane accelerates. Learn to identify it. Thick red stems, succulent paddle-shaped leaves hugging the ground, smooth and juicy stems, tiny yellow flowers tucked between the leaves. Harvest young in the first 6 weeks. Eat it raw in salads, sauté like spinach. Blend into smoothies. Stew, pickle, or dry for winter. Save the seeds. One plant produces hundreds of thousands. Share them. Let it seed naturally. Every person who recognizes Purslane understands that some of the most nutritious foods don't come from stores. They grow freely under our feet. The herbicide industry doesn't want you to know. The pharmaceutical industry doesn't want you to know that your $20 supplement tries to mimic what Purslane does for free. The agricultural industry doesn't want you to know that scientists chasing a super plant have already found it. It's called Purslane. It has been feeding humans for 4,000 years. And right now it's growing in your driveway. If this vault opened your eyes, subscribe to Nature's Lost Vault and hit the bell. Every like, share, and comment helps preserve this hidden wisdom. The next vault opens soon.